With Wargaming handing the player base 32,000 free steel or 32,000 free doubloons, there has been no shortage of debate and questions about, hey, should I get the doubloons or the steel? And then once I made that decision up, what should I get after that? And that's what we're going to go over in today's video. We're going to discuss what I think you should pick and then how you should spend said resource. Once again, I do apologize for sounding a little bit off. I'm still very sick. Just crawling out of bed to make this video for today, and then turning around and crawling back in afterwards. So let's get to it while I still have a voice to record with. So, steel or doubloons? That is obviously the first question. Now, I've seen many a comment, especially on yesterday's video, talking about how steel's, in their opinion, the worst choice you can make because it's the least flexible, and that's very true, because steel can only be spent in one of two ways. You can only spend it on items that are sold for steel in the armory, or converted into coal for items that are sold for coal in the armory. So on the pure steel side, you're limited to steel ships and steel camos when those are available. On the coal side, that opens it up a little bit more. You can buy coal ships, you can buy special modules, and you can use it to get signals and economic bonuses and such in that regards. However, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I would highly discourage you from doing this. Steel is a resource that takes forever to obtain, even for someone like myself. I play this game very regularly. It's pretty much a second job at this point for me. It takes me like a year-ish to save up enough steel to get a steel ship. And that's usually with using the coupon for resource ships when that is available. So obviously, if you're more of a casual player, any steel that you can get at a faster rate than, one ship a year is pretty dang good. So when you do have this opportunity to pick up a steel ship by just playing the game every day for a few months, yeah, I would highly encourage you to use your steel just for that. Now, as far as what steel ship and such, you can check out my top 5 videos here for that. I'll also link them in the description down below. And while you're down there in the description checking out those links, why don't you go ahead and drop a like on the video, and if you do find yourself finding this video pretty useful, subscribe to the channel as well for more of these videos. So, steel ships though, do you want one? Well, steel ships for 95% of the ships are extremely good ships. There's not a lot of steel ships that are considered bad by the player base. There's really only one or two that I don't have any desire to really acquire. And, well, they're ones I've played already because I got them when they came out to review them. But the vast majority of them are pretty dang good. So if you have any inkling to get a steel ship, now is a pretty good time for that. I would wait, however, to go through with the purchase until the resource coupon resets. That way you can save a little bit of steel and put that towards your next steel ship. So it's not a bad time to pick up a steel ship if you want a steel ship. However, doubloons, they are a lot more flexible with what you can get with them. Obviously, you use doubloons for just about everything in game. You can use doubloons to buy ships, you can use doubloons to buy certain commanders, you can use doubloons to reset commanders, you can use doubloons to buy economic bonuses, signal flags, containers, so forth and so on. And there's a couple of opportunities coming up where you very well may want to get those doubloons over the steel. Because while sure, steel is hard to get and it takes forever to acquire enough steel to do anything with it, there are some pretty good deals coming up that you can use your doubloons for. First off, Black Friday. I'm sure that event is still happening. I would be highly surprised if Wargaming does not go through with a Black Friday event this year. In Black Friday, you can pick up ships that have been removed from the game, ships like the Jean Bar and the Massachusetts in their black forms. Now, it's a bit of a toss-up whether or not Wargaming will have those ships available to be purchased outright with doubloons. Last year, they didn't do that. You could only purchase them outright with cash, but you could still buy the Black Friday containers with the doubloons that could potentially have, the Jean Bar B or the Massachusetts B or the Alaska B in those containers. So there's still a chance there, but again, we don't know the details of the event just yet, so we can't say for sure one way or another. But then after the Black Friday event, that runs right into the Christmas and New Year's event with the Santa containers, where, yeah, you can definitely buy Santa containers for doubloons. That's been a thing every single year. I don't see why in the world they would change that this year. Now, you might be thinking, okay, yeah, I can buy Santa containers with these doubloons, but if we go on previous year's pricing, it'll only be enough to buy like one of the 20 pack of the big containers and maybe, you know, a pack of the medium or small containers after that. Sure, that's true, but keep in mind with the way that the Santa container event works at the end of the year, you aren't going to be able to earn those Santa tokens, Santa coupons, Christmas tokens, whatever the hell they're going to call them this year, and get a good amount of these containers for free. And then you go ahead and you throw the containers you can buy for doubloons on top of that. That, of course, you know, increases your rate of potentially getting a premium ship out of one of those Santa containers. And if you've been around the game long enough, you will probably have most of the ships in those Santa containers, right? So that increases your odds of getting a ship that, you know, you don't have, you know, one of those rare ships that have been removed from sale for however long, right? So you could potentially save your doubloons and do that, right? But in addition to that, with the end of the year, we get another great deal, and that I would 100% recommend you do if you don't have your sights set on a ship or something. And that is the 50% discount to a year of premium time. Premium time in this game is the single best way to ensure you are making profit. You hear a lot of talk about how this ship's great for credit farming, this ship's great for credit farming, this ship's great for credit farming. Well, imagine if all of your ships were just decent at credit farming. You're not overly fantastic, but just decent. Like, you go into battle, you have a decent game, you make credits. That is what premium time does to every single ship in your port, at least. Obviously, if you do have a premium ship that you're good in and you have premium time on top of that, that just adds to the mountain of credits you get at the end of the game. And premium time half off for the entire year is not a bad deal, normally if you're paying outright cash for it. But now with doubloons, you can pick it up 50% off for these free doubloons completely for free, and you've spent nary a dime ensuring that you can absolutely print credits in just about any ship that you play for free. That is an amazing deal right there. Now, of course, will they offer it up for doubloons or cash only? We don't know yet. I think the year worth of premium time, even if you're paying outright cash for it and you can't buy it with these free doubloons, is definitely something to pick up anyway if you play this game on any regular basis. Credits are the actual grind in this game. Like, XP isn't really that hard to come by, and in 9 out of 10 cases you will have plenty of XP to get to your next ship, but you won't have the credits for it. And this just solves your credit problem for less than the price of a tier 8 premium ship, right? And if you do play on a regular basis and you pick up this year's worth of premium time, you'll probably really get like a year and a half, if not 2 years of premium out of the game, because Wargaming gives premium time away like it's going out of style. So yeah, you can really stack up on a lot of it, starting here at this year of premium time for half off. So I would highly encourage you to do that, either, free doubloons or not. Some other things to consider with the doubloons is the fact that if you have the San Diego and you complete the In the Name of Tomorrow event, you do get another additional 11,000 doubloons for free for completing that event, which will bring your grand total up to 43,000 doubloons, which that's a lot of doubloons to have at your disposal. And you can use, 6,000 of those doubloons to complete the Laffy Dockyard. You can get the Laffy for free, in addition to all the goodies you get in the Laffy Dockyard for, again, 6,000 doubloons, which is just over half of what you would get from the San Diego, right? So you're still sitting pretty with quite a nice stack of doubloons after that. Now, the big question is, of course, should you go for the steel or for the doubloons? Well, it's really up to you. In my 2 cents, if you're a more veteran player and you have, a nice size fleet, tons of premium ships, tons of tech line ships, you guys are probably going to want to go for the steel because, well, you've got most of the other stuff already, right? And steel is that in-game resource that you keep coming back to try and acquire and get that fancy new steel ship, right? So you probably will want to take the steel. If you're a newer player or a more casual player, I would go for the doubloons because you have a greater flexibility with the doubloons in terms of, what you want. And with the Christmas container event coming around the corner, the discount on premium time and the Laffy Dockyard and all that jazz going on right now, it's a pretty solid option. And keep in mind, too, it's not a, take-all situation. You can split it up 50-50 or really however you want because, you just turn in the 100 tokens a day and you pick steel. or doubloons. So maybe you just need a few thousand steel to get that next steel ship. So you just cash in a couple of those tokens for a few thousand steel, and then you turn around and cash the rest in on, you know, the Santa Container event or the premium time or the Laffy Dockyard or whatever, or vice versa. You know, you just need a couple thousand doubloons for this and that, but you really want that Stalingrad, right? So you cash in a couple thousand tokens for some doubloons, and then the rest for that steel for that Stalingrad. So it really is up to you. And once again, I gotta commend Wargaming for, you know, letting us have this option of picking whatever we want, whatever combination we want of these resources. So that's pretty cool on Wargaming's part. But again, in my 2 cents, if you're a more veteran player, you probably want to go after that steel. If you're a newer player or a more casual player, you don't really care about the steel ships or the competitive side of the game, you probably want to go after those doubloons. Again, it's the more flexible option anyway, and I'm still torn on exactly what I'm going to do just yet, because, you know, I do want to get a new steel ship. There's several that are very, very attractive right now, but obviously having 32,000 free doubloons as well, it's a pretty shiny pick as well. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do just yet. We'll see when the time comes for me to make a final decision upon what I want to trade in my tokens for. But I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'm going to go chug some cough syrup and go pass out on my bed. You guys won't be able to tell because, well, I edit, but like every 2 minutes I've had to stop and, you know, cough up a lung and keep going again. I swear I don't sound like this normally. You know, I don't sound like I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. It's a fun time. But anyway, guys, hope you guys are doing just fine. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.